Welkom bij een nieuwe aflevering van de Data Discovery Channel. And switching to English because our next guest is Rob Sewell.
Yes, apologies for the English, but thank you so much.
No apologies at all. Rob, you're a data platform MVP for a long time.
That's right.
And you specialize in different things, but one of them is DevOps, Git, those kind of things.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm all about the automation, so
Yeah.
that's very important to ensure that you use Git within that realm.
Yeah. Talking about Git, my first question is, I see a lot of people struggling with Git when they're not having an engineering background.
Yes.
And so we are consultants, we use it all the time. For us, it's like, we are engineers, so it makes perfectly sense. It gives a lot of benefits. But when I look at the data teams at regular companies and not being software teams, they struggle with it. They see it as a barrier. Do you see that in your practice as well?
Of course. I like my background is I was a production SQL DBA.
Yeah.
And then when I went in to do consulting, you see store procedures named _v2.
Yes.
Underscore do not
exactly,
delete. Well, do not delete for how long? You know?
Yeah.
When was it last changed? Oh, 1999. Should we delete it now? You know? These are the things that I see, just like you, all the way around. The reason it's hard is the same reason it was hard for me and probably for you, is that it's a new thing we have to learn that gets in the way of doing the fun stuff. Because the fun stuff is writing the code to fix the problem. Does it work?
Yeah, and then move on to the next thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason it's so important, and I think this is when we're thinking about how people should get started, they should understand why it is important. And the reason it's important is because it tells a story of your code. If you embrace Git and you make sure you write good commit messages and you work with it, you're able to then go back and solve the problem of who changed that function and why. And it was 3 years ago and it's somebody who left the company, but you have it recorded in Git. Or maybe it's, what did we change for that particular issue? If you recorded this in your Git commit history, you can go through the issue, match it to work, understand what's going on. And also, most teams these days don't work in the same office or even the same country or the same time zone. So making use of Git and source control enables you to collaborate together, peer review together, and do all of these things. So these are all really important. The problem is they take time. They take time to learn.
Yeah.
I think the way that you start is like we all did. You create a repository for your code because in the beginning, it's a really good place to keep your code backed up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah? Anything we've got on a local machine somewhere could, or in a network share, might get lost or whatever.
Yeah.
We have it in a remote Git repository. At least we know we've got it syncing, and so it starts off like that.
Yeah.
Put it in there.
Benefit number one.
Yeah,
Exactly.
kind of safe.
Pepsi.
Yeah.
And then you say, right, okay, now any time that we make a change to this, we do it inside this repository, just a folder on our machine. And then when we finish making the change, we record why we made the change.
The commit message.
That is our commit message. And then we push the change. So not just the changed code, but the changed code associated with the reason why we did it is then pushed to the remote repository for you to use for the person in the future. And also, can you remember the code that you wrote 6 months ago when you look at it?
Probably not.
No.
At least, well, of course, I store it in Git, so I could answer that question. But if you ask it top of my head, no, I don't.
So it enables even yourself to go back and say, why did I change this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, we were trying to do that. Okay, I won't break that with this next change. So that's the thing. But it takes commitment, it takes process and understanding. And it's cool. I love it.
Yeah.
It's useful.
Yeah.
And I think you made a very good point about that you don't only store the change, but also why you made that change. Now, I know you've talked about commit messages before, but I sometimes see people make commit messages like made a change or test or next.
That's
or
90% of what I see.
Yes. So of course, we should make better commit messages. But what, according to you, makes a good commit message?
Exactly.
So it literally has been my session today and at other conferences. So if people want to learn, go find my slides and we can we can do that. So what makes a good commit message? It is something that you have to work out with your team, like coding guidelines. You have to have a discussion. You have to agree, document, and then follow some rules. And the rules are then going to be, what should we do for our commitment? What language should it be written in? If all of your team is Dutch, what is the benefit of writing in English in second language? Oh, but we might have some people come in who are English consultants. Okay, we will choose to do it.
Then
in
you have a
English.
good reason
Exactly.
to do so.
Yeah?
You thought about it.
You've thought about it. You understand. Where do we put the reference to the work item or ticket because the boss told me to? Does that go in the title or the body? These sort of things are things. I give people a nice little matrix that says, I suggest that your title should be an action word, an item, and a reference. So created, added, updated, modified, removed,
Yeah.
view, store procedure, function, whatever that might be. Jira ticket number, Azure DevOps issue, GitHub pull request, because the boss said so. Yeah? And then in the body, this was for the new Swedish company to make sure the regex.
Yeah.
So then you, Mark, might go, okay, Rob, you might think that that'll work with Swedish regex, but actually I did the one for the Danish company last week and that's not going to work. So we can, if I just use dot or fixed files or whatever, you don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. So you can't help me to make the team make a good product. And
Yes.
we take more time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's the basis of how I see a message.
And if you look at systems like I'm working a lot with Azure DevOps, where you always have the link between a commit and the ticket. If you do it right, if you enforce that, we enforce it. Then what is the added benefits of having a good commit message?
So the reason for doing that, and Azure DevOps, GitHub, you can link to the same, but also to each other as well.
Yeah.
So we can have our code in one place and our work items in another. The reason that we link them together is to understand why we made the change, but also to make sure that the change is going through the correct process, to have compliance. Yeah? Why have you changed the store procedure for customers? Oh, hang on a minute. It's related to this task, which is to do with this work item, which is in this user story to do with regulatory for Holland, yeah? Or it's to do with the new blue product we're creating. You can get that reference of what this code is related to, because then in 2 years' time, you might find, oh, we need to change this because of da-da-da-da. And then you go, hang on, work that back. Oh, actually, yeah, we need to make sure we keep that for this as well. Now we need to think different.
Interesting. Can you share a good example of a company that also hesitated with going to use Git, but and where something happened that could have been prevented by a good Git system? A real mess up, for example?
So I won't say company because I say normally at a team level.
Yeah.
And perhaps the biggest example I can give you is from a very long time ago when the beard wasn't as long, and I worked in first line support, and we worked shift work in inner defense, and in our room we had the on-call list printed out from an Excel sheet, and it was on the wall, and somebody new came along and they weren't happy because their personal phone number was on the wall for anybody to see.
Yeah,
Which,
okay.
Yeah, that's a
know,
legitimate question. Yeah.
totally legitimate. And everybody went, oh, yeah, that's a good thing. So we took it down because you could get it on the network share.
Yeah.
Excel sheet on the network share. So the lights that go bing and the machines that go beep suddenly started going off in the office at 2:00 in the morning, and I'm like, hey, and little checks, bit of network connectivity. That's okay. Ooh, seems like the SAN is the place where I'm not able to get anything. Oh, now I'm not getting any alerts at all, which is worrying because it means something bad has happened.
Yeah.
I need to call somebody out.
Where's my list?
Oh.
Yeah. oh,
I have no list.
yeah.
Of course, the file system, the file server is on the SAN, so I have no access to that. 2:00 in the morning. Oh my word. As it happens, what I had was the personal number of one of the team that does on-call, because we played football together. And I phoned him up at 2:00 in the morning, and he said, "Thank you very much. I'm not on call. I'll claim the benefit," and hung up on me, which was correct.
Yeah.
And I phoned him back, and I'm like, dude, yeah, claim the benefit, but actually,
Help me out.
I
Yeah.
have no
Yeah.
idea who it is. How do we work this out? And we ended up calling about 6 people before we found the one who was on call, and then everybody came in and resolved the issue. So after that, it was like, how can we make sure that doesn't happen? And the first thing I did is we just had a Git server. So instead of having on the file server, I moved those files into Git. I just had a little job that just moved them to Git, into the remote for the Git, and then we synced it back to this one machine. So then, no matter what, on this machine, on the file system, we always had the on-call and all the other bits of information.
Yeah, and if your computer breaks down, you can always pull a fresh version. Yeah.
But it was like, no matter what, even if we had no network at all, we always had it on. There's not a way we fixed an application or data pipeline or anything like that. But it is the first real reason why I went, yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
Ah, cool. So just start using it. It has a lot of benefits.
Yes.
You get a backup. You get a story about your software, your code. Yeah. Okay. Great. Bob, other question. You are known for DBA tools and DBA checks.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Automation.
Automation.
Yeah, automation.
All of those things.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Any new things you're working on? Any new things that we can expect?
So the thing with this is let's talk about AI. Okay. So dbatools.ai is another module that Chrissy has been working on. Enables you to point a large language model at either the data in your database or at DBA tool.
Yeah.
So instead of having to learn that it's backup dash DBA database dash database that path here for, you could just go, please back up my database, my important presentation database on this server, and it'll go read what code is available to it from tools, find the command, and if you want it to, it will then run it.
So it's a layer on top.
Yeah, it's a separate module alongside.
Yeah.
And that's fairly new then, I assume?
Chrissy, yeah, I mean, within the last 9 months or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you also see the adoption of that, how people are using it, because it sounds like a great idea.
We don't, because we don't capture any telemetry on what is used. So there are some PowerShell modules that do capture that telemetry and get it brought back. I think with DBA tools, because it's important inside a corporate environment, we actually decided not to do that, and therefore we know there are 593 million downloads. I don't know what, make it up, but in the millions of downloads from the PowerShell gallery, plus all the ones from the GitHub. So we is widely. Don't want to break.
That's of course the most important thing.
Yes.
The exact numbers don't really matter. But I was just curious because, using AI for these things, given that AI is very popular at the moment, I was just wondering if you could, if you had any insights on how actively that's being used.
No idea, but I think it will grow. So I had a conversation today with other people who had no hair, who had grey hair, who had grey beards. Right? Oh my word, AI is going to ruin me. I'm not going to be able to do anything. And my answer is, embrace it.
Thanks for your time. Have a good day the rest of the day.
Thank you very
we'll
much.
hope to see you again next time.
Absolutely.
Voor de kijker, dankjewel voor het kijken. En tot de volgende aflevering van de Data Discovery Channel.